All right, we live. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Austin back to another video. So today, guys, we're going to be doing 50 questions with a Howard University student. So today, I'm here with...
Hey everybody, my name is John Edward Stokes. I'm a sophomore physics major, mathematics minor from Chicago, Illinois. It's nice to be here today.
Okay, good. Glad to have you, man. So you said you're a physics major. What made you? Because I know me, I couldn't do all that math. So what made you want to do physics?
Man, so to be honest with you, I didn't really decide to do physics until my junior year of high school. Because I was on the fence for most of that period of time. But I went into an internship. It was at Fermi Lab. It's a lab that's about an hour out from Chicago, an hour and a half, something like that.
Gotcha.
And I found it to be interesting. I figured out what physics is. It's more than just F equals ma, and it's more than just well, as I know it, classical mechanics, which is F equals ma, momentum, all that stuff. Is a whole different world. There's a whole bunch of different types of physics as well, and I thought that was cool. And I thought it especially cool since it was the building blocks of life as we know it in the sciences.
Pretty much. Yeah, I got you.
Aside from math.
Right. So what branch of physics are you interested in? I know you say classical physics. So what right now, what area of physics are you really into?
Yeah, so when I say classical physics, I just mean the equations I mentioned, and stuff. That stuff is I don't want to throw too many big words out there.
Okay, take your time, bro.
I'm gonna just say this one phrase. The classical stuff is non-relativistic, and that just means it's stuff that is a lot slower than the speed of light. Okay, that's basically what that means.
I got you. That makes a lot of sense. It does it.
Hey, you don't have to get it. Yeah, that's what the physics means.
Nah, for sure. Next question. So, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Why did you choose an HBCU?
Okay. Shoot. I mean, for one, I won't lie. My mom went to Howard, and so both my parents are HBCU educated, and so Black education has kind of been a large part of my life. All of my siblings graduated, or they went to university. Most of them went to HBCUs. My brother got his doctorate from FAMU. My sister, she went to Spelman in her undergrad. And it's been a large part of my life. So I chose it because I wanted to be a part of that as well. And I see what HBCUs have given to my family. Their quality of life is, they're happy. It's being around Black people kind of does that to you. Being around people like yourself in a country like this, it kind of gives you that reassurance that you need to kind of go into.
I got you.
Life, go into the professional world, go into whatever, just grown up stuff.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
So how has your Howard experience been so far? How would you describe it?
Yes, I mean, it's been all right. It's the school part is school, right? Grades and tests to stress you out.
Right.
And the people are great. I love the people here.
Thanks.
Been making a lot of good connections and meeting a lot of interesting people. And I really enjoyed that. And I've been really engaged with my passion since freshman year. So I really enjoyed that aspect. Granted, there's some things that could improve. I don't know if you're watching the news and stuff around this time. There's protests going on here. It's talking about the things that administration has not done for the students. And, that's something that could improve.
Yeah, I feel that's the beauty of being at HBCU is seeing students really stand up for what they see as wrong in their eyes. And I feel being here, you just I don't know, I've said this in one of my videos, just being here, you're around so many like talented, gifted, and there's people who just want to see the world change for the better. I just love that part about it. And even though I'm not like in the arts and crafts or photography or anything like that, I don't know, I just really began to like appreciate those in the arts. Are you involved in like the arts or anything like creative like that?
Yeah. So I played the upright bass for 10 years. You know, I'm getting better on the bass guitar. I'll play that for about consistently for about 4-ish years, but you know, I've had it since I was like 14.
Right.
I write poetry. I've been doing that for a while as well. Probably longer than about 9-8 years. What else? I mean, those are the main things I do, you know. And I do a little producing. That's like when I'm not feeling the bass or anything.
I got you.
Yeah.
So what drew you to like poetry? What made you want to like, I guess, get involved in that? You said 8 years, right?
Yeah. Well, first it started off like, you know, I was starting to get into music. I'm like, I'm gonna try to write some lyrics.
Right.
You know, and it went from that to like just straight poetry, because this is when, you know, I was kind of coming off of my reading phase. There's a period of time where like I was too busy to read or whatever, you know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I'd start like writing actual poetry, and this is when I started listening to rap music. I actually wrote my college essay on this, like the personal essay, whatever. I wrote it. It was like rap saved me, right? And so like I really got into poetry because I started listening to people like Kendrick Lamar, you know, those rappers that people consider lyricists, you know. And then like I really transitioned to poetry when I joined Louder Than a Bomb. It's like a slam poetry coalition that's based in Chicago. And I was a part of my high school's Louder Than a Bomb poetry team.
Is that like a poetry slam, like similar?
Yeah, it's poetry slam, yeah.
Okay.
And so, you know, I really got into that and I loved every bit of it. And, you know, once I graduated high school, I'm like, I'm not about to stop now, you know? So, yeah, I just really got into it.
Nah, I like that. Yeah, let me fix it. So what do you think like from doing poetry, like what do you think you gained from it? Is it like a way to just express your thoughts about like your, I guess, daily experiences as a black man in this country type thing, or just?
Yeah, it's all types of stuff for real. Let's see here.
Now continue. You good.
I mean, you know, it's just like, it's whatever comes to mind for real. You know, now I read a lot. You know, I'll read.
That can be edited. You good, continue.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, it's just whatever comes to mind. Because now I read a lot more than I did before. So, like, I'll read some Fanon. Wait, hold on. Because it's sliding off this thing right here.
Okay.
Yeah, like. And then, like, you gotta. I'm just about this pencil right here. You got it. There we go.
All right, perfect. All right, as you were saying.
Yeah. So, like, now I read a lot of Frantz Fanon. He's French Angolan, I'm pretty sure. Angolan French. He was like a poet, philosopher, politician person. That's what I'm reading right now, actually. And he talks about necessary violence and within, you know, like revolutions and anti-colonial struggles. And, you know, I figured that's what the Black Panthers read when they were starting to get big, you know. Right. And it's like, you know, reading stuff like that kind of gives you perspective as a black person in this country. And so, you know, when I read stuff like that, I often get inspiration for my poetry. But you know, if it's not that, it's something about, you know, just relationships, whether it be familial, romantic, platonic, you know, it's just, you know, whatever comes to mind.
No, I got you. That's cool. All right, so I know you kind of mentioned this earlier, but what are some of your favorite hobbies?
I love playing the bass when I have time. You know, I be up in the study lounges. You know, I jam out with I mean, you know Kamal,
right.
DJs, and you know he'll throw something on. I'll be, you know, I'll listen to it, and I'll kind of just improvise to it. You know, I'll find out the key of the song, play to it. Besides that, I also, people call me a crazy for this, like, but I do like doing track workouts and just like
plyometrics. Yeah.
I like working out in general though. What else? Shoot, I mean, I watch football, you know, sometimes basketball. If I see good photos, I'll take them, you know.
I got you.
And I like exploring too, you know, stuff like that.
Got you. I have a different type question. So, if school didn't exist, what would your dream job be?
Sure, man. My dream job, well, I like to say I don't dream of labor, you know.
Okay.
You know, if school didn't exist, and if, you know, labor didn't have to happen or whatever, I mean, quite honestly, I just spend my time learning about stuff, you know, applying it in some way. I'd definitely be playing bass a lot more than I do now. I should say instruments in general. Excuse me. What else? I mean, you know, if I had to work, it would be cool to be like a professional, I don't know, athlete. Just like a sprinter.
Right.
Or, yeah, travel the world, do something, play bass, sprint.
That sounds like a chill life for real. Where have you traveled to?
Where have I traveled to? Shoot. Well, out of the country, I've been to Australia, London, and Toronto.
So out of those,
Oxford.
Out of those, what was your favorite and like why?
Honestly, I gotta say Oxford. And the reasoning's kind of cheesy. I mean, we were there because, you know, it was one of our school trips. Like, we had to fundraise and stuff, but we ended up taking a 10-day trip to the UK. Okay. And we stopped in London first, stayed in a hostel, and then we went to Oxford after about 3 days, something like that. And so I just loved Oxford because, you know, it's kind of like a college vibe, you know. We were all there. We were going to classes. We went to museums. You know, we'd be in dorm rooms watching movies. You know, it was a nice experience because we were all kind of just, you know, in a different country, finding stuff, discovering stuff. I still remember this one food spot, Souvlaki. That shit was, I mean, that stuff was...
you good. You straight.
That stuff was, it was great, man. It was like a Mediterranean type of restaurant. Like, yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah. And, yeah, it was cool. And, yeah, I mean, that's where I met one of my love interests as well. But this is way back when. Okay. It was cool.
Nah, that's dope. I've yet to travel internationally, so if I can, I really want to try and get to, I don't know, Oxford, Australia, just somewhere outside of just the U.S., just to expand, you know what I'm saying, expand my horizons. Outside of just this country. So next question, kind of a little bit deeper question. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
And it doesn't have to be just one person. It can be multiple people.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there was a time when I'd say I gotta be my own role model.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, as life goes on and I learn more, you know, I've figured that that's not exactly conducive to my goals. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like that's a whole different line of reasoning. But you know, right now I gotta say, people like Malcolm X. When I first read his biography, I was kind of just blown away. You know, like this man was different. So he's definitely like somebody that inspires me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Stokely Carmichael, Angela Davis, wow, Asada Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
And those are just like the revolutionary figures. I definitely draw inspiration from my dad the more I learn about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't know what it is about growing up, but you just like learn more and more about your parents. You know.
Agreed.
Yeah. So more I learn about him, the more I'm just like, yeah, this dude's valid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of people I can say inspire me too much in terms of like celebrities
Mm-hmm.
and public figures. Just because one, I don't trust politicians. Two, I also don't idolize like athletes or singers.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's like the
So,
list
not to cut you off, but what about Malcolm X, Angela Davis, Stokely Carmichael, your father? What about them? Like, what makes you say that they inspire you? Like, what is it about them?
Man, so I'll start with Malcolm. I read his autobiography, and it was just the drastic amount of things he went through, and how dynamic his character was throughout his life.
Mm-hmm.
And just how hard he rode for the things that he believed in.
Mm-hmm.
I found that to be really inspiring. And then the impact he left, you know, when he died, man, it was Bull Connor, I think. It was one of those white supremacist people. It's like, no one man should have all that power. Kanye West said it in the song too,
Mm-hmm.
but he was quoting that one white guy. And he said that because Malcolm X, as they said, was one of the people who could like single-handedly either start or stop a riot.
Are you talking about
like a national scale?
You talking about J. Edgar Hoover?
Was that Hoover?
Yeah, because he was like prevent the rise of the Black Messiah, and he was the one who killed, who had a role in killing Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, a lot of the Black revolutionaries.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hand in that because he worked for the FBI. I think it was the FBI. Yeah, so
I mean, the FBI killed Malcolm X.
Yeah, and he was like the director of like the FBI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was either him or Bull Connor said something. I can't remember.
It was him too.
Malcolm
It was him.
X.
They both had like a role in there. But continue.
Yeah, like Malcolm X for that reason. He's just the person I hold highly. So also he changed his life, like on his own, I guess, motivation, his own free will. He kind of devoted himself to the Nation of Islam,
mm-hmm.
and then like later on like expanded upon his understanding of Islam, and you know he started to become a different man. It was really inspiring. That's
mm-hmm.
the bottom line. And Asada was pro-Black all of her life, and you know, it was the way that she persevered throughout all those, you know, when the counter intelligence
mm-hmm.
program,
yeah.
the FBI, they're trying to shut down the Black Panthers and all those revolutionaries. You know, she stayed strong throughout all of it, and she documented her experiences
mm-hmm.
so that people would know what was going on.
Right.
You know, Angela Davis, a lot of the same stuff, a leader in the intellectual discussion on, you know, race, women, and class. You know, it's a lot of stuff. And then Kwame Ture, Howard University, I guess alum, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man. I just hope to leave an impact like that someday, you know?
Yeah. Well, kind of leading up for that, what do you, if you could give this chapter in your life a title, what would it be?
Dang, it sounds familiar. It's a familiar question. I guess either what's the word? Chrysalis? Because what comes out of cocoons?
Butterfly.
That's not chrysalis. That's not a chrysalis.
I think that's like the stage before.
For real? Or this is one of those two. It's either that or like.
Are you thinking of like metamorphosis?
Yeah. It's something like that. It's either that or like.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like calm before the storm. You know, some poetic stuff like that. I don't know.
Nah, take your time.
Yeah. I mean, I just say that because college is kind of like that point in time. If you didn't do it in high school, you're gonna do it now. Like you're gonna start discovering yourself, and you're really gonna start questioning what you grew up with, what your values are, who you really want to be, stuff like that. And I mean, granted, you're gonna do that throughout your life, but college kind of provides that space where you can do it more freely and with more, you know, I guess, time to kind of figure that out and like figure out what direction you want to take.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so last and final question. What do you want your legacy to be?
Shoot. I want my legacy to be one where I leave positivity for the right people. Kind of like what Malcolm X did. He was one of the biggest sources of Black power in his time. And you know, that empowered Black people across the nation. There were millions who converted to Islam because of his influence. And you know, there are millions who felt proud of themselves because they were Black, because of his influence. I say he even like started the Black Power movement because of his ideals and whatnot. So it's something like that, you know. I want to be that person who like a little kid can walk up to, be like, look, it's him, you know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, give him a little dap up, like a little.
Yeah, I got you for sure.
And be like, you know. Leave positivity for the people I want to leave it for, you know.
I respect that. No, appreciate you, man, for real, for doing this video with me. Once again, guys, this is John Edward Stokes, and we're doing 50 questions with a Howard University student. Thank y'all for tuning in. That's the video for today. Peace. Hey, man, appreciate you for real, bro.